Hi, everybody. How are you? Dom, say hi. Hold on. Let's see who this is. Hold on, y'all. Hi. Sorry. Phone calls. um. So I want to give y'all a little 411 on what happens whenever you have older parents and they have not put anything on paper, or even after you know they pass away. Um. So this week we were supposed to close on our house, right? We have the house, we have the loan, we've got the da, 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 everything is together. Hi, Spoof. So we just had to send off an envelope. Hey, Kim, how are you? I'm so glad. Yeah, I'm trying to get back on. Um, so I had to send an envelope to Hackensack, New Jersey today because we have to get letters of administration over Andy's dad's estate updated and sent to us because boom, 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 the mortgage company, which is the most horrible, stupid people on this earth, I would like to say that. I'm not going to mention the name because I don't want to get sued. It's not a major company, but it's a big company. Um, so we sent in receipts that said Andy and I paid for the roof for the house in Rutherford. Andy and I paid for all of the stuff that went on, having to fix the room and having to redo the walls and all that stuff. So we sent those in, and those were in our name. So these douches send back a, we had to send in the State Farm check that was made out to Andy's dad. Well, Andy is the executor over his dad's estate. Well, instead of putting the check in Andy's dad's name, which I understand the legalities if there was another, somebody else on the surrogate papers or whatever, but Andy is the only one there, right? And we had letters from the attorney proving that, we have the surrogate papers, everything. Make pancakes, Tommy. I don't care.
How long?
A minute.
Okay.
Um. So the banks here in Texas will not. Now, mind you, I've never had a problem with these surrogate papers. I've used them for everything. Like anything that we needed to do with the estate, we've used them, not had a problem with them. So we take it to the bank, and they tell us here in Texas that because the date is in 2021, that it's too far out of date for the executive papers. Bless you. And that we have to get other papers done. So I just had to send express mail to Hackensack. I put an envelope in there, so all they have to do is overnight it back to us. Um, and so if you have older parents and they pass away, whenever you get that letter of administration over your parents' estate, keep it up to date because you're not going to know when you're going to need it. Because I've had a roof put on. I've, Andy sold the house in Rutherford with, we had to put this copy in that said we do, Andy had the authority to sell the house. Da 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 da. He's the executor of the state. No problems. But because it's not updated, because it's from 2021, we can't use this to open up an estate account, put the check in, cash the check, bada bing, bada boom, we're done. I am so frustrated and I'm so aggravated. And, you know, don't cause a headache for yourself. Make sure that if you have legal paperwork, you keep it up to date, because this is a pain in the ass. We were actually supposed to be closing today, and we can't close because we can't cash the check. You know, I have an undisclosed amount of money in a check that we're going to be putting down towards the house, and I can't do it because, hey, sweetie, hey, mommy Mars, how are you? Um, and we can't put the money down towards the house because we can't cash the check. So if you have older parents, and make sure that everything is done, make sure they have a will. First of all, make sure they have a will. First and foremost, do not go through the hell that we have gone through for 2 freaking years. It's ridiculous. Okay, seriously, I'm not kidding. It is absolutely 100% ridiculous. Um, you know, to check up on your parents. You know, if they don't open the door and you're a locksmith, open the door. Make sure they're okay. Make sure that they don't have to take 9 dumpsters out of your house after you die. You know, make sure that they don't have gigantic holes in the roof that affects an entire room and part of the living room. You know, and you know, if your parents are getting up there to that age, and you know, God forbid, but whenever they die and you're the executor, just make sure that all your paperwork's up to date, or else you're going to have to go through the bullshit that we're having to go through right now. And it's not okay. It's not. This is a ridiculous step that we are having to take because we didn't know that, you know, that we needed to go get it done. You know, see, Kim, you understand, and it's a pain in the ass to get the executor papers, and it's a pain to do anything with an estate. So we're going to open up the estate account long enough for the check to clear. Then we're going to transfer all the money to our bank account, and then we're going to close the estate account. And then that will be the last thing that we have to do with this estate, and we will be done. We've paid the taxes. We've done this. We've done that. We've done everything we have to do to make sure that this estate is taken care of. I am so frustrated, and me and my dad is 90. My dad's about to be 91 in September, and we've had this conversation now. You know, is your will up to date? What do you want? What are your wishes? You know, and me and my dad had a real. I mean, it was a hard conversation. I'm not going to say it was easy, but we did have that conversation. You know, I know what my dad wants, and when my dad dies, you know, it's, you know, his will is up to date. He makes sure, like, every 5 years he updates it, you know, because he's had more grandkids now and you know, stuff. But it's like every time we think we're gaining ground and we're going forward, we get stalled. It's like we're standing on the finish line right now, but we're not allowed to go through that damn tape. We cannot cross that finish line. I, you know, and I'm not on here bitching, and I don't want anybody thinking that I'm venting right now because I'm just frustrated. I'm absolutely frustrated because they are making this so much harder than it has to be. You know, it's um a minute. Dominic, most everything goes in the microwave for a minute. Okay? Listen, and that's the other thing. I have all of these documents on my computer. And we had a horrible thunderstorm here when we first got to Houston. And I woke up and I looked at my computer because by the time we saw the first flash of lightning, the lights had already flickered and my computer came back up and it was gone. I had such a panic attack. And I restored my computer. Thank God I restored my computer. And, I got everything back. I have all the death certificates. I've got the surrogate papers. I've got everything on here. So if I have to send a copy to somebody, and I've had to do that, in order to turn off Xfinity, I actually had to send my father-in-law's death certificate along with the estate papers. It's a huge, and I have their social security cards. It's like, it's exactly, it's, that's the thing, is not only did we have one estate, we had two estates. Because Andy's dad died in March of 21, his sister died of May in 21. So we ended, actually the day, that's the crazy thing, is the day we were supposed to go to court, we were supposed to do a Zoom call. And that was on May 28th of 2021. We went to my sister-in-law's house and, we discovered, unfortunately, that she had passed away. And, it's like, oh, crap. Because we went from a 50-50, we're going to sell the house, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then all of a sudden, we went from a co executor status to Andy is the sole executor. Yeah, Miller's imaginary friend Autumn Wren is only in Miller's head, just so everybody knows that. Autumn Wren never existed. So, and whenever you go through an estate and you have to do all this stuff, and I say I do everything because Andy was working. Andy's now retired. So Andy was working and I was the one who was at home and I was cleaning out his dad's house and I was doing all the stuff I had to do. And, I say I because I am the one who did it. I am the one who talked to the lawyers. I am the one who talked to the surrogate court. I am the one that filled out all the paperwork, and I would call Andy and say, hey, listen, well, I know you're at lunch. Can you run home real quick because I need you to sign something? And he would run home real quick and he would sign the papers that needed to be signed. And then I would go take them to wherever I had to send them. And, this is a daunting thing if you've never done something like this and you have no knowledge of what the hell is going on. It's very daunting. And yes, I'm glad that we have had a very good lawyer. The lawyer also, cost a whole lot of money because every time he had to do something, it was $350. That cost us a lot of money. So, but just to make sure that all their stuff is up to date. And like once a year, contact the probate court and say, listen, I need updated papers. Because I didn't know we'd have to have updated papers. I looked at the lawyer. We sold the house. And we were expecting the check to be in Andy's name. And it wasn't. It was in the estate of blah, blah, blah. And so, we had closed the estate accounts because the lawyer said, okay, we're done. And oh, you're welcome. So, we had no idea that we shouldn't close the estate yet. We went down to TD Bank. We closed the account. And I think it had 11 cents in it. And we closed the account. No big deal. No problem. And now it's a problem because now we have to get new what is this called? Letters of administration papers And then, we have to open up a new estate account for 3 days, let the check clear, and then we have to close it. We're having to jump through all these hoops for like a minute of time. Exactly. I'm going to tell you what. I've already told our daughters. I've already told my kid. I've, it's Oh, you have to get. By the way, if your credit, I want a little PSA. Addendum PSA. If your credit is not good, if you don't have above a 580 credit score, you have to get bonds for the estate. Just so you know that. So if your credit sucks and you're the only administrator for the estate, you will have to buy bonds. For Andy's dad and his sister was $7,000 for the bonds. And we had to repurchase those bonds every year. Just so you know. Running an estate is not it's complicated. Like, you can do this, but you can't do that. You can do this, but you can't do that. Until the estate was completely done, when we signed the papers when Andy signed the papers to sell the house, we had to pay off the water bill, we had to pay off the electric bill, we had to pay off the cable bill because they were still in his dad's name, and there was no point in changing it because the house was still in his name. So we paid off everything. But if we didn't close on the house until this month instead of back in early June, we would have had to pay another. Yes, every state is different, but I know about New Jersey, and I know in New Jersey you have to buy bonds. You have to purchase bonds for the estate. So even though, and this is what we didn't understand. Let me go back to that. This is what we didn't understand. Even though, because we were rebuilding Andy's credit, but we had to get bonds. So Andy, God forbid, was going to screw the estate, but Andy was the estate. He was the only sole heir to his father after his sister died. And we explained that to the bonds guy, and they said, you still have to do it because, what if you don't pay off the bills of the estate? What if you don't pay off the cable bill, water bill, electric bill, da-da-da-da-da? So I get it, but I think it would be better if there's only one heir. They shouldn't really have to go through all that because it's one person. How are they? They're not going to screw themselves. I don't know anybody that goes out and says, hey, I'm going to go screw myself today. Because at the end of it, you're responsible as the executor of that estate to pay off all the bills of the estate. So there you go. But just getting through probate court, it was 3 Zooms because back it was still during COVID. So it had to be Zoom calls, and it was insane. There was 3 different court hearings they had to go through. Make sure you have a will. Because if Andy's dad would have had a will, granted, after his sister died, the will basically would have been nullified because I'm almost positive his dad would have given everything to the sister. But Andy would have ended up with everything anyway. But make sure you have a will. Make sure your last final wishes are in your will. Make sure if you have children like Dominic. I mean, Dominic is 18 now, but Dominic has special needs. So, Dominic will never live on his own. Dominic will never, he can go get a job, but it's not like he's going to go out and go be part of the Fortune 500. So in our will, we have certain things put to the side to make sure that, everything we want for Dominic is put into the will. there will be a trust put up. There's a trust whenever Andy dies, and we have a lot of life insurance on Andy. When Andy dies, that will go into a trust for Dominic. I'll get Andy's pension, but Dominic, the life insurance will be put into trust for Dominic. And make sure all your stuff is in order because you don't know when your last day is going to be here, and you don't want to leave this to your children. And also, if you're a fucking hoarder, let somebody in to help you clean your house. It should not take 6 months to clean out a house. And it did, working every day for 6 months. That's how long it took to clean out Andy's dad's house. If you think your parents are hoarders, find some way in the house. Because, your children and your grandchildren should not have to put up with having to clean out your damn house. We filled 2 dumpsters the first week we were there. And I'm talking 60-yard dumpsters. 60, right?
Yep.
60-yard dumpsters. It was ridiculous. And and this whole thing with us having to get these new papers, it's just aggravating as shit. Because honestly, we were supposed to be closing on our house today. And so that means another week staying in the hotel. And, it's we have to have 2 hotel rooms. There's 6 of us. Thank God my granddaughter is in, visitation with her dad right now. Or else it would be 7. This is just, I know it's a speed bump and I know it's not horrible, but it's still a pain in the ass. Oh my goodness. You know what? I did the same thing to Andy, Kim. I did the same thing to Andy. I filled up 9 dumpsters. We filled up 9 full ass Actually, some of the dumpsters were overweight. I had to pay extra because they went over the 1 ton or whatever the hell it was. And I will never do this to my children. There is no hoarding. There's no, oh, I may need this for later on. No. The only thing that applies to right now is Christmas, because I will start, when we get in the house, I'll start Christmas shopping and I'll put stuff up, but there's not going to be, hey, let's go to Goodwill. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's order from Amazon. There is no more of that, because I have seen what hoarding does. And I can't, find out how many bank accounts your family has. Find out how many bank accounts your mom and dad have. Andy's dad had 2 bank accounts. Yeah, it's better for Andy. It really is. Andy's dad had 2 bank accounts. We had to go take the letters of administration up there and close them. His sister had a bank account and a savings account that had to be closed. We had to, when we cleaned out his sister's apartment after she died, we had to prove that Andy was becoming the executor of her estate. I mean, there was nobody else, but, we had to prove that. So that way we had the authority to go in and go clean out her apartment after it burned. It's like, you have to have this letter of administration for every little thing you do for the estate, from opening up bank accounts to closing bank. You can't close somebody's bank account after they die without the letters of administration. You can't even get in the bank account. It's crazy. Like you have to sit there and spin your wheels until you have the court date. And once we got this, we could get, we could do everything we needed to do. And, we had to hire the lawyer. We did the estate, the probate court by ourselves because it was easy. It was, they had to do 3 Zooms, and we had to get all the death certificates. We had to get, we had to get the EIN number. We had to do all this stuff. But once we did that, it was very simple to go into the bank and say, okay, listen, we have this, we have this, we have this. Yes, that is absolutely correct. Unclaimed treasury, put your name in, put your parents' name in, and there are people who don't realize they have thousands of dollars in bank accounts, 401ks, all these things that they don't even realize that they have. Because I did that. I found out I had $500 from, you know, a you know, a modeling thing that I did years ago, even before Dominic was born. And I had $500 in the bank, and I forgot about that bank account. I don't know how I forgot about a bank account, but I did. But make sure that you have all your little duckies in a row, because if you have older parents and they're about to kick off, hate to use that word, but when they die, like, you have a very short amount of time to get everything done. Holy crap. You have a short amount of time to get everything done. And, hopefully you and your siblings, or you and your cousins, or whoever you shared the estate with, are willing to do everything together. Because if not, then you're going to have a fight. But that's what probate court is for. But after Natalie died, Andy didn't have anybody else to fight with, so there you go. But I'm just frustrated. I wanted to be moving in my house this weekend, and now we have to do this because I didn't know. I even called the lawyer, and the lawyer's like, "Do you want me to email you a letter?" He said, "Because you're Andy is the only one on the estate." And I said, "Well, maybe that'll work." And the bank here said, "Oh no, we have to have the administration papers, and it has to have an updated date, because this one is dated for August of 21." And so now, we have to wait till next week. We have to wait to get the papers back. Then we have to wait for the check to clear. Then we can put the money down on the house and be done. And then I can move out to my little country house, which, oh my God, it is country heaven. Like, it's in the country. Like, if you did not know where this house was, you won't find it. It is back in the backwoods. So, and I'm very happy about that. And plus, I found out that we're going to be moving to part of the Bigfoot Triangle in Texas, which my other channel will be streaming that back up. Do a little ghost hunting, do a little Bigfoot hunting, stuff like that. And I just want my life. I just want peace. That's all I want. I just want peace. I just want to wake up and know that I never have to move again, because moving sucks. It sucks, especially whenever you move, 12 states, 10 states away. Oh, and the fucking movers, messed up the top of my armoire, which I have an armoire that splits in two. Like, the top half comes off the bottom half. So they damaged the top of it, and I'm sitting there, and I emailed them about this, and they're like, "Oh, there's nothing we can do." Hey, KCL. So it's just, Tommy, go get 2 pads and clean up the guinea pig cage.
Okay.
Okay, go clean it out. That's your job. But I am
I'll get 3 pads first and
okay.
pad.
Okay.
So I don't have to walk all the way.
Okay.
Good idea.
I'm just I just want to wake up in my house. I want to wake up in my bed. This hotel is not bad. It's nice. I mean, they don't have real breakfast. They have like coffee and muffins. But yeah, he'll be right back. We but it's good. I want my kitchen. I'm gonna have to learn how to cook on an electric stove. I don't know how to cook on an electric stove, by the way. I know how to cook on a gas stove. I haven't had an electric stove in 30 years, so this is gonna be different. Uh, oh my lord, KCO, you're funny. But I'm just ready to be in my house. I shared in my Discord what my kitchen looks like. I love the kitchen. It has a huge, beautiful island in it. Hey Shelly. I'm very upset about my armoire. It is probably very close to like 60, 70 years old. It's solid wood. It weighs a ton. Beautiful. It's got scratches on it. They broke part of the top of it. Just pisses me off. I did snort. Um, it just pisses me off. And they're not willing to do anything. They're like, we don't know if we did that or the movers that took the stuff out of the truck and put it in the storage unit went, oh my God, who packed this? That's how bad it was. I'm praying that I have good china, I have everyday china, and then I have dishes. You know, I have like summer china, which I absolutely love. They have beautiful birds on them and birdhouses. And then I've got my black and white china, and then I have my wedding china, which I swear to God, if it's broken, I'm gonna go off on somebody because that was brought over from Italy, well Sicily, like 100 years ago. So I will be very pissed off. I want my stuff out of storage. I want to unload my stuff. I want to put our bed up. We have a beautiful 4-poster bed with a canopy, and I want my bed. I want my armoire. I want my vanity. I want my room. I want a private room to ourselves. I am very lucky to have the stuff we have. Um, that the armoire was given to me by my best friend because her mother passed away, and she said, "I know that Minnie would want you to have this." Um, and it has 2 nightstands that go with it, and they're almost the size of the bottom of the armoire. So it's awesome. Thank you, Joey. Uh, I think I think that hopefully by next weekend or the following Monday we will be able to go and sign the papers. Okay, KCL, and then we should be able to move into the house that day. I am going to have a Catholic priest come out. I'm going to have our new priest come out and come bless the house. Yeah. So does the vanity. The vanity was Andy's mother's vanity. It's solid wood, got a big, huge. I'll show y'all when we get moved in. I have a beautiful vanity, like a 1950s vanity, and it's gorgeous. And the mirror is ginormous on it. We're gonna have a priest come in, and we're gonna have everything blessed once we get it in the house. And uh, our I'm going to make sure that everything that has ever been touched by the possessed house is blessed by a priest. Once we get moved into the house, I'm going to give y'all a tour of the house. It's beautiful. It's got a half-acre backyard. I'm so excited about this yard. I'm a nut for working outside. I love being outside. And so, but I have a half acre in the front and a half acre in the back. So if you need to rinse out the bottom, take it in the shower and rinse it out.
Okay.
All right. Don't drip. He has to clean out the guinea pig cage. Sorry. Put it in the shower. Put a little bit of Dawn in it. Wash it out. But
On the counter. And the paper towel should be by the sink.
it is important. Oh my Lord, KCL. Holy crap. That is beautiful.
That must have.
Holy crap. That's gorgeous.
Dawn's on the counter by the sink.
Um,
And then the paper towel's right there. So you could dry it.
You know what? Me and my dad were talking, and he has end tables that were my grandmother's.
Right there.
Um,
On the table. I'm looking. Can't be looking that well.
What are you looking for, Dom?
Paper towels. They're, Dominique, they're right here on your table. Oh.
Right there. Dom, say hi.
Hi.
So I have two end tables that my dad has in his house right now, and we're going to get various artwork and stuff like that. Dom's doing good. So those end tables mean the world to me. I don't care about anything else in the house. Anything else, I don't give two craps about. My dad, gave me my mom's doll. And I'm trying not to tear up. This was a doll that none of us kids were allowed to touch. This was my mom's baby doll. And she is now 86 years old. That's how old the doll is. And she still has her little embroidered pillow that goes with it. And it's beautiful. And it meant the world to me that my dad would give that to me. Because, you want to see the doll. Oh, Lord. All right.
Get to it?
Yeah, I can get to it. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Now, my grandmother embroidered the baby doll pillow. Y'all have to excuse Dominic's bed has not been made, so I apologize. Okay. We're living in a hotel room. So that's what my grandmother did. And this was my mama's doll. But her eyes closed. But I was never allowed to touch this doll, ever. Because she has the little cracks in her face. So, yeah. But my grandmother made the pillow for my mama when she was little. And she's always laid on this pillow. And, Yeah, she's 86, and I always wanted to play with the doll when I was little, and my grandmother was like, "No, don't touch it." So, but now she's going to go in a glass case in my room, and we're just going to make sure she's protected just because she is so old. Um, my mom got her when, hold on, how old would my mom be? My mom would be 85 this year. So yeah, she would be 84 or 80. I don't know. She was bought before my mom was, right before my mom was born. So, and Shelly, I wish I would have known because we had to get rid of a secretary desk. Had the top, it had the beautiful glass doors on it, everything else. We just left it in the house. It was beautiful, and we left so much. I left two of my china hutches, um, the dinner table, everything. We like walked away from everything that was pretty much everything that was in the house. Okay, now put the pads down. And thank you. I love her, and I love this doll. So, and I have my grandmother, both of my grandmother's jewelry boxes, and I'll be showing those. Once I get our room done, I think our room is the only room that's going to be painted. Painted. It's going to be a deep purple, and we're going to make it like a boho room, and it's going to be my sanctuary. So it has a walk-in shower, has twin his and her closets, twin vanities, everything. Um, oh, I love this doll. We found out that we had to do 250 to it, starting with the electric, so we sold it, and that's the honest truth. We sold it because we couldn't afford to fix it. It was a beautiful house, and we did a lot of work to it, and we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. But I couldn't come up with the money to fix it, and all the electric had to be updated, everything. So I love antiques. Um, no, she's not creepy looking, and you know what? Ever the day my dad gave that to us and all that, I feel like my mom is, watching out over us. And it's like my daughter keeps telling me, everything has a reason, and everything happens for a reason. So, but yeah, make sure that if you are, oh, thank you. If you are the administrator of an estate, once a year, go down and go get the letters of administration, get it updated, because uh yeah, this is a nightmare, and it's a pain in the ass. But very shortly we will be in our house, and I can't wait. It's it's a great it's a great house. It has a huge living room, a huge kitchen. Um, the bedrooms are all really good size, and it's it's gonna be amazing. Thank you, because I had no idea that we had to do this. Uh, I mean, I've used this piece of paper right here for 2 years now, doing everything we had to do with the estate. And I did not know that we had to update it. I, I want, my dad asked me what I wanted, and I said, honestly, I said, the only thing I want is Mama's tables. I'm going to take everything else because we're also going to be getting my mom and dad's bed and pictures and stuff like that. But me and my sister, after my dad passes, me and my sister are going to go through and we're going to split the pictures up 50-50. My brother doesn't want any pictures except for one, so he can have that one. And me and my sister are going to split them up. But do yourself a favor. If your parents are getting on up there, make sure they have a will. Make sure they have everything set in place so it's not a nightmare, because it's a nightmare whenever you have to do all the probate stuff. It is a freaking nightmare and it is expensive as hell. It is expensive to go through probate. Not only did we have to pay for the bonds, but we also had to pay the court fees. We had to pay for everything, and it was just insane. And we had to do it twice because of his sister's estate. And but yeah, save yourself some time and a headache and aggravation and being pissed off, and make sure that you just keep everything updated. So, but no, thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for letting me vent. I just need to vent for a minute. I'm frustrated. I just want to get in my house. That's all. I want to get in our house. I want to just find my zen and be done. You know. And then we can start building the deck and put the pool up and everything else that we got to do. And you know, yes. If anybody needs advice on something about probate and stuff, if I can help you, I will definitely do it, because it's it is a crazy ride to have to go do this. So, but thank y'all all for showing up, and I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to be on here more. I know I keep saying that. I'm trying, but I love y'all. Y'all are great, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye bye.